All right, Dr. Toni Torres. So good to see you.
Glad to be back. We're both a hot mess today.
Even my internet is a hot mess. So it said internet unstable. But hi, Toni. It's so good to see your smiling face. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
before we, oh my gosh, and I love your, oh wait, and see, I'm getting sidetracked off script. I need to go on script. All right, Toni, this or that. 'Cause we're gonna kick it off. Icebreaker, this or that. Beach or mountain vacation?
Beach,
Chocolate or vanilla?
vanilla,
Pop or country?
pop, not a country girl.
Netflix, Hulu, or Apple? You get three.
Oh, I really love an Apple show.
Okay. I am gonna choose a beach vacation, even though I don't like the sand. I'll choose chocolate because I love all things chocolate, especially if it's my time of the month. I'm sorry, guys. I am an oversharer. And I love pop. I don't listen to any country. I am same as you. And I am also loving Apple TV. And before we get started, I want to know, what are you currently watching on Apple TV?
Oh, is Silo was on Apple, right? We just finished Silo, the new
What
season.
is Silo? I've never even heard of
Oh,
Silo.
it's so good. It's so good. It's like supposed to be post-apocalyptic or post some big war that happened in the world, and all these people are living in a giant silo drilled underground. And it's all about their community and kind of the just the sectioning of how they all live on different levels of this silo. It's really good.
So sci-fi, you're into sci-fi stuff.
I am, yeah. Not, I mean, I'll just say yes. I like sci-fi.
Okay. I also like sci-fi, but it depends like how out there it is. I don't like anything
Yeah, like,
that's too like zombie-ish because I get scared
oh,
easily.
I hate zombies just because I hate the noises. I hate the like, I can't stand it. Like my husband loves The Walking Dead, like so many others, and I'm like, shut that off. It's overstimulating me.
So we're recording audio and visual. So you guys, we're gonna make a whole clip of Toni's facial expressions that she just made for for the
Please don't. Please don't. Uh, why do I do these things?
Oh, it was so adorable. And okay, so oh my gosh, Toni. So it's been a week. Walk us through, what has Bloom Dental Co. been up to this week?
Okay, so on Tuesday, we had our final building inspection. So my inspector came in, we had the whole office empty. I worked at my associateship that day. My contractor was so confident we were going to pass with flying colors. And the story is that the inspector was just very grouchy that day and failed us for two minor, easily fixable things. So we didn't pass Tuesday. But I had planned for a training Wednesday. So my staff came in with me Wednesday. My contractor hid us in this closed off office because he said the inspector will just come in for 4 minutes and leave. And we got in trouble for being
Yeah,
in here
yeah.
with staff doing training on computers. So we had to leave the building, go. My wonderful pediatrician neighbor let us go in his break room and finish our meetings. And we passed Wednesday. So, yay.
Amazing. Congrats. So do you have the official COO?
I do. I have my certificate of occupancy. And Wednesday, I left training early and went down to the city of Henderson, City Hall. And I'm going to make a cute little post about it because I didn't know how involved it was. Just establishing your business license with your city. I had to go to like 7 different stations in City Hall, and they were all so nice and so great. but it's like you have to go to zoning and permitting and fire. And I had to establish my DBA because it's different than my business entity name. Had to do all these things within City Hall, took about 2 hours, more hidden costs, right? I ended up having to pay maybe like $600 that I didn't anticipate for. And then I got my business license. So we are ready.
Amazing. Congrats. So Bloom Dental Co. is officially blooming.
It's officially Bloom Dental Co.,
Oh
my
my gosh.
DBA.
Congrats. Did you pop a bottle of champagne? Did you celebrate?
No, my family was all grouchy because I was late to bring dinner home. So I had to rush to City Hall and go pick up chicken sandwiches and rush home to feed them. Ugh. No
That if
celebration
oh my
for
gosh,
mommy.
if that doesn't define mom life, I don't know what does. Like this is a huge freaking milestone. You have your official business license. You've been waiting for your certificate of occupancy. Like you're a legit business. And your family was grouchy. You had to run and pick up some chicken sandwiches.
It's just normal, right? It's our everyday
Normal.
life. It's fine. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, well, I'm so
Yeah.
excited for you, friend. This is, I mean, onward and upward. Like you need to, I know that the moment has already passed, but you and your hubby need to go on a date night. You need to order a bottle of whatever sparks your fancy, and you need to celebrate. Like this is
Yeah.
big.
Yeah. It is. I agree. We are going to a 1-year-old's birthday party tomorrow. So we'll
Oh,
party.
it just keeps getting better,
Oh,
Toni.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So you're like in the thick of being mom, like this like
Yeah.
age range. Oh
Yeah,
man.
2 and 4, but it's so great. They're so much fun right now. And it's cute because they have enough understanding of what Bloom is and how important it is to me.
Yeah.
So they're always asking me, Mom, how is Bloom? When is Bloom opening? When
Oh
we
my
drive by,
gosh.
they like wave.
Oh,
It just makes my heart so happy.
I love this. And I hope that you are documenting them as well in your office. I know that you had them sign. Did you have them like sign their names
The
on the
drywall. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's really
amazing.
special.
We had our boys, we only had two at the time when we were building Folsom, but we had them put their initials and like their handprints in the concrete when they poured the concrete. Yeah, it's super special. And I don't know about you, but on Fridays, like when I'm in my house alone and I'm not, in the offices or thinking about patients, I will just scroll through my photos and go down memory lane. And then I get all emo and look at like how freaking short these years have been. And
Yeah.
yeah, like it's so enjoy every milestone, savor the moment. It goes by way too fast.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It is crazy. So you are official, and I'm surprised that you had to go to City Hall to do all of that yourself. I don't think I ever did any of that.
I mean, they told me I could have filed online. I called my city of Henderson. They gave me a portal where I could upload documents to, but they said it could take 2 weeks. And I just don't have that time. I'm trying to open next week. So I went straight down there and it was all so nice. It was super dead. It was a Wednesday afternoon.
Nice.
And I have a couple of friends that work there. So I saw my girlfriend that works there, and she told me she listened to the podcast while she was working that day.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it was fun. And I'm a chamber member, so I just wanted to go down and see all of it anyways.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, congrats again. And okay, so Wednesday you passed and you got your official COO. And now what else? So what happened Thursday? Anything
Thursday
more
I worked.
training?
Yesterday
Okay.
I worked at my associateship. I don't think anything, they're just doing like final touches, fixing the walls anywhere I put blue tape now. Um, just fixing final things that don't work or putting finishes on my walls. So there might have been some crew members in yesterday. And then today, right now, I'm here at the office with Ari, my front desk, and she's working on putting fees into the schedule, into Open Dental.
Amazing. And then when do you have the final like punch walkthrough?
So I'm actually just waiting to hear from Chris, my architect. He's supposed to fly back in because remember I said he flew
Yeah.
down 2 weeks ago and the office wasn't ready. So
Right.
he's going to make a second trip out here, but I don't know when that is yet.
Awesome.
But once I got my COO, I got my final invoice for construction to pay
Right.
them off. And how we split it up because my loan is completely depleted. So I gave my contractor the final amount, how much I had left in my bank account from my loan. And he just billed them to zero it out. And then I have a little bill of like $7,000 left that I have to pay him out of pocket. And I took that COO, I sent it to my landlord to get my TI, and then I'll feel so much relief because I can pay off some credit cards, pay off my final construction bill, and have a little bit of capital in the bank to help run the first month or two.
Oh my gosh, I am all the expenses. Where did you buy just your regular office furniture from?
So I joined Wayfair Professional and I got a lot of cute chairs and like coffee tables and things through there. I've bought like a file cabinet. I bought my break room table from Amazon. Just simple because we'll get into construction and this was something I wrote down to note is that my architect has an interior design section of the architecture planning. So I had an interior designer and she helped me, match everything and make sure there's a flow. And she actually put a furniture list together for me. And when I actually got around to looking at it, I'm like, girl, this is West Elm and Crate and Barrel. What budget do you think I have? But wait here is great and they deliver really fast. It's a lot of self-assembly.
Yeah.
That's that's the only thing, but super affordable and really cute furniture.
I love Wayfair. I also signed up for Wayfair Professional that we bought like our office our desk
Mm.
chairs from Wayfair for the Roseville office. But you can actually for West Elm, for Crate and Barrel, for all of these places, or Williams Sonoma, did you know that you can apply to be a part of their trade program? And you
No,
use, okay, listen up, guys, because I found this out
I'm sitting.
while building my second location, because I too also love West Elm and Crate and Barrel. And I was in the office and I was like, like I'm looking to design or to furnish my new building. And they said, oh, what are you a business owner of? I was like, oh, I'm a designer. They don't know that like what kind of designer. I'm like a smile designer. Okay. They don't need to know the teeth part. And they basically said, if you upload the articles of incorporation that prove that you are an actual entity, you can apply for their trade program, which is automatically 20% off.
Oh,
Yes, but it has to be delivered to your place of business. So you
yeah,
can't like, you
yeah.
can't buy stuff and then have it delivered to home.
Deliver a couch to my house, please.
Yeah.
That's so smart.
I know. I know. So I do have a lot of West Elm in my current office.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good
It's
little cheat.
it's still not cheaper than Wayfair and Amazon, but
Yeah, yeah. And I
Okay.
used a company called Paired Creation for my light pendants. I really like them.
Hair, Paired creation. And was this company also recommended by your interior designer?
No, I just found them Googling for pendant lights, and it's a lighting company, and they were really well made and pretty well priced.
Now, where you're at, do they have that clause where everything has to be super low energy for the,
No,
no?
I don't think so. And that's
Okay.
like a California thing for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, my dear. So the moment our listeners have all been waiting for, let's
Hmm.
talk about the whole construction story. So where do you want to start? Because I basically want to know how long your build out was and any like bumps and bruises along the way.
Okay, so yeah, let's start off just talking about when I got my initial bids, right?
Okay.
I wanted to talk about a little bit about the timeline because I didn't understand how long it takes. So I wish I negotiated for a little bit longer free rent period.
Mm,
And the reason being is when you're using an architect, and I don't know how it goes, when you go down the route of using like Henry Schein to design your office or Patterson, I think things go a little bit quicker because an architect is going to be super meticulous and you're going to have all these design options and go in. And that process it was not plug and play. They gave me an essential layout, and then we would kind of change different parts, tear certain parts apart. I really liked the layout from the get-go. I told you he understands that general Scott Luna method of how
mhm.
you want to do the flow of an office. The biggest changes I made, other than little design aspects, were my laboratory. So they had a smaller lab built for me in the original plans and a laundry room. And so what I did is I completely took out the laundry room and added an additional 3 to 4 feet of lab bench space. And so my laundry is not closed off. So we kind of gutted that whole room and rearranged things, knowing that I wanted to incorporate more technology later. I really wanted to incorporate a large lab bench section and just things like they put in a drinking fountain, and we had to figure out with the city how to take that out because I guess some cities require a drinking fountain depending on your square footage. We had
Hmm.
to decide what to do with that wall. So once everything was set and my plans were done, I think that whole process probably took 2 to 3 months, just the architectural plan drawings. Okay, so now this was December. By the time we were ready to actually ask for bids, that was December. And it was Christmas time. I said that I think on the last episode. So we gave all of the contractors about 4 weeks to look at the bids and give us as detailed of a bid as possible. That's huge with my architect. He didn't want just a general bid and then all these change orders. And
Right.
I'm grateful for that now, but I was
Oh,
sweating when I had to
Tony,
wait that long.
I,
Yeah.
absolutely. For those of us who have never gone through this, what is a change order?
Ooh. So a change order is essentially your contractor comes on with a price. They say, I can do this entire build out for $500,000, let's say. But along the way, there are going to be hiccups, or you're going to change your mind about something, or they're going to figure out, oh crap, we can't drill through this cement in the ground. We have to move it. And a change order is anything that the additional that they have to add to that original bid for your project.
Thank you. So it's nice that you had such a hands-on architect that
Mhm.
already completed the full scope of the project because oftentimes we create like, a very generic floor plan without all the details. And then your bid can be several $100,000 different from one
Yeah.
bid to the next. So
Yeah.
kudos to you that you guys got your ducks in order before sending out.
And something that was kind of a surprise to me is because I was going around looking at locations with my Patterson rep at the time, and I didn't understand that bringing on an architect kind of takes out a big role that your rep your equipment rep plays because they like to, be able to design the practice with you and do all this. And I was just out at dinner eating chips with them one night and I was like, oh, I have an architect. And they were like, well, then that means you're not going to use us. I didn't realize. I was very naive in that aspect. So just know it's kind of one or the other. You can get a free floor plan going with your equipment reps. They can map it all out for you, but just like you were explaining, that's going to come with a lot of change orders because it's not going to be a detailed bid. I went the route of going with my architect and talking about the timeline again. He gives a contractor 4 weeks to do as detailed as a bid as possible because my architect wanted to see like, okay, how much paint do you plan on buying? He wanted to see a detailed itemized list of how much everything for this project will cost. And at the time, that was really hard for me to wait around. It was also Christmas and New Year's and a holiday. So I think it took 6 weeks to get, we sent out 6 bids. We got 4 back. And I told you those all came back crazy high. I actually went back and looked for you. My lowest was not 760. My lowest was actually 660 that came in, and it went up to about 800.
Wow.
So those 4 bids,
Just the build out, no
just built
equipment,
up,
nothing.
just the build out. And so that's when I got a hold of my equipment rep, and he found my current contractor, Golden Creek Construction, and I signed on with them probably right. I think once we went through, their original bid was not 550 and we started cutting things out, okay, to try and figure out how we can get the price down to my budget. And at one point, we were even considering just building out half my practice and like
Mm.
walling it off. And I was heartbroken about that idea, like walling off and not having a break room or my other 3 ops or restroom. And I was considering it legitimately because I didn't have the funds. And I don't remember if that was before or after we brought Golden Creek on, but once we got that bid down to 550, because I think my budget was at max 530 for construction, I told him go for it. And so we signed on probably in February or March. We signed his contracts, the bids were finalized, and April 1st is when my construction actually broke ground.
Now we're already in April. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
April Fool's Day.
Yeah, I know. I know. I know.
Oh
Uh,
my gosh. But meanwhile, you were already working with PPO profits, trying to
correct.
get, okay,
Yes.
awesome. What else were you able to work on while you were waiting for these bids? Do you remember?
I mean, I was working full time. I was working for 5 days a week still at the time.
Gotcha.
I just remember a lot of my meetings were with my architect. I had all these, 6:30 a.m. meetings before I went in to be a dentist all day, where I would be working with my interior designer and my design team and also my branding. I was doing branding at that time. So that whole time I was trying to figure out with Studio 88, with their designers, figuring out my logo and my fonts and my color scheme. I had a lot of meetings with them.
Mhm.
Um, and then PPO profits, we spoke about. We were working and learning on credentialing. Yeah.
So, did so you broke ground on April 1st, and then was everything smooth sailing from then on?
I wouldn't say smooth sailing. I honestly, I haven't, it's stressful for sure, but I think overall, now that I have some perspective, I think I've had a really great experience with construction. And I think a lot of it has to do with that planning period with my
Mhm.
architect and the detailed bid. Because really, I'll go over the exact 3 change orders that I have had through my project, but I've heard horror stories of, like you said, hundreds of thousands of dollars adding on. But the biggest pain or headache through the process for me is I'm so detail oriented and I have such a specific vision for how I want things. And sometimes your contractors are just going to put in what works or put in, they're trying to meet a deadline for you so you can open. And I've let them know how particular I am, but still details are missed. And it just, construction has been a process for me because I have to show up every single day and look with my own eyeballs and tell
Mhm.
them, no, this paint color is wrong, or no, the door should open this way, not that way, or we left out an outlet right here. Just little things like that, which it was completely outside of my comfort zone, even to understand drawings and layouts and things.
Mhm.
Um, but my advice to anyone is just be on site as much as you physically can and don't be scared. Like, this is their job. Like I said, I like telling everyone that they're doing great and I'm so appreciative of them. But at the end of the day, if something's wrong, you need to point it out before it becomes a problem. And so, kind of segueing into uh, one good thing that came from me being on site almost every day is that I could also see and hear the problems with my neighboring tenants.
Hmm.
So, since I was physically here during the day, during business hours, I quickly came to realize I already mentioned I'm next door to a great pediatrician, but the wall that we share is their sick waiting room. So where their sick kids are checking in, with parents. And I was in here a couple days when I just had framing up in my office and you could hear kids screaming from the other side of the wall. Probably
No.
kids with vaccines or kids that don't feel well. And so I had to go to my contractor and say, this is going to be a problem because this is the wall that all of my operatories are on for the most
Oh,
part. I can't
geez.
have screaming kids all day. And so that was my first change order is soundproofing this giant 13-foot ceiling wall. All
13-foot ceiling?
yeah.
Wow.
And it's it's very long. I don't know how long this sidewall is, but the entire depth of my practice. And so that was a $6,000 change order to add quiet board and soundboard and extra sheetrock in there. But it's this wall right here. I don't hear a thing. Yes.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine if you weren't on site to hear what it's going to sound like during the day. You
Mhm.
would have been miserable. And I mean, dentistry is already a high anxiety place. So if a patient is in the chair and they hear screaming next door, not a good vibe. No,
And then
good job.
imagine how expensive that would be to try and soundproof
Oh,
later. Like the walls
no.
weren't up yet. So I was there and able, luckily, to catch it before they closed up the walls.
Jeez. Did your architect, so when I also worked with an architect and they were incredible. They are based out of state. So they flew in for a site visit prior to the drywall going up. And it was a meeting between the architect and my construction team to
Mhm.
basically map out all of the outlets. Did you guys do that too?
We did it all virtually.
Gotcha.
I believe my architect came out once before we even poured concrete to take measurements of the space, make a 3D rendering, and just make sure he had everything precise when he started actually setting up the plans. And then after that, I would do, video walkthroughs with him, but everything else was done virtually until he came out a couple weeks ago for that punch list
Gotcha.
attempt.
And and you were really hands-on, right, with your floor plan in general.
Yes.
How many iterations I mean, do they charge you for
No,
extra changes or anything like that?
no, not at all. They were great. I mean, we didn't swipe anything clean and start over. Pretty much,
Okay,
we just moved walls here or there or added like my arches. If you've seen videos of my office, my arches, we did a couple iterations of how I wanted that and just placement of the restrooms, things like that. And like I said, my laboratory. Oh, and then I think our original plans, my doctor's office was larger and it's we share a wall with my office and the break room. And so I opted to have my doctor's office smaller and make the break room larger, just little changes like that, moving walls around. So I don't know exactly how many iterations that was, but it was a few months of making final touches.
Gotcha.
And there were no additional fees. It was just a one-time total charge that I paid in three installments.
Very cool. So your office is 2150 square feet,
Yes.
6 operatories. You currently built out three, three
Yes.
of those rooms, and you made your lab bigger to
Yes.
one day build in more technology, and you made your doctor's office smaller to have a bigger break room. That is one thing that I really wish we had in our first location. Our break room is the size of a peanut. It is
Hmm.
so small. Yeah.
I still feel like mine is small too, but I mean, I don't need that much space. I want my team to be able to have somewhere to go and relax
Mhm.
away from patients and um yeah, my office, I actually just enclosed with the glass barn door because
Yeah.
I just want to be like, I'm here. I'm here always in my tiny little closet. But I did that to help make it feel bigger too.
Awesome. Good for you. Is there a separate back entrance for employees?
Isn't, and I wish there was, but no, the back of our building is just up against a wall. So there's just like
Gotcha.
trees back there. We just have the front entrance.
And you don't have any windows in the operatories, correct?
No. So that's interesting. I was in between two spaces for my lease, and I was so torn because I wanted so much light for my
Mm.
office.
Hmm.
And my vision, I wanted to have, floor to ceiling windows in my operatories, and I found that in a space. I did. It was a corner lot space and it had wraparound windows, but it was a business park. So it was like a two-story medical business plaza and with a shared kind of like atrium,
Hmm.
So, and then I found this space and we have the huge windows up front. And since I have my one long hallway, it does let in a lot of natural light. But I opted for the enclosed space because I also live in Henderson, which is right outside Vegas. It gets really, really hot here.
Hmm.
And so my employer, she has the two offices. She's like, you're going to spend a fortune on your energy bill with all these windows.
Yeah.
That was the other thing. That location was also like 2 miles away from my employer's other location, and I didn't want to be that competitive. So that's how I landed on this space. I opted out of all my beautiful windows,
I think
soundproof
I
some walls, and be next to a pediatrician.
I think that was a very smart decision because yeah, in your neck of the woods, your summers are brutal. That
Yes.
is, I mean, how hot does it get in Henderson?
I mean, like a normal August afternoon is like 110, 100. Yeah. It's
Oh my
it's
gosh.
like you walk outside and you just blaze like
Yeah. And
so
then
no,
how cold does it get during the
it gets
winter?
pretty cold. It does. Like this morning it was like 47 degrees.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I
Wow, what
think
a change from last week.
I know. That's how we are. That's how we are.
Did you plumb for nitrous?
No nitrous.
No
I
nitrous.
I just never liked working on people with nitrous.
Gotcha.
The
I
nose
hate that
piece.
nose piece is so annoying.
Yeah,
It
and
really,
I yeah, I've just never had an issue. If someone's that much of a baby that I can't like calm them down or,
yeah.
get their anxiety down to where we can make it work, then I'm like, go do sedation somewhere then.
Mm.
I
Do
don't
you
want to.
think you would ever have a dental anesthesiologist come into your practice?
I've never considered it. I
Mm.
never have. I don't know. That seems complicated.
I think it's a game changer.
Really?
I started it with our second location, and girl, it
And
is
you're seeing the patient,
amazing.
or you
I
have,
I see the patient, the dental anesthesiologist does everything else, like make sure the patient's comfortable, sedated, and I wish everybody was sedated now. I'm like, can I put you to sleep?
you have to get a certain license for that or certificate?
No, because they will carry
Mhm.
their own malpractice, all of that. So
It's pretty cool.
it's and it's so nice to be able to tell patients like who are so fearful, who have been putting off so much dentistry, and now it's like, no, when we put you under, our goal is to get as much treatment done as possible. So I mean, those are usually my most profitable days
Yeah.
because
Are
we're
those
literally doing
cases?
everything. They're really big cases. They are from patients who have just neglected their mouths, and now they're ready because they're finally in a position to go to sleep, wake up, and be done with it.
Hmm.
So
Okay, yeah.
to consider it.
I've always just thought of it like, oh, you need your thirds out. Let's, bring a surgeon in.
Oh,
I've never thought of it that way.
oh my gosh. I mean,
Really?
I had one. She this patient, I mean, she's not the easiest to work on. Like she always has this fear of drowning from the water.
Mhm.
So she has to, be upright, like take lots of breaks. So we brought the anesthesiologist in just for like 4 crowns. But it
Mhm.
was amazing because I have CEREC. So
Mhm.
I'm prepping, and then by the time I'm done prepping, we're milling that. I'm going to the next tooth, and then we cemented it all. And she was like, I will never do dentistry differently ever again. Like,
It's
I only
amazing.
want to be sedated. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Well, maybe I'll tell you in a couple of years.
you, it'll be a game changer. And I totally understand the appeal. Like, because oral surgeons, they work with sedation all the time. It's so nice to give local anesthetic and not be like gentle, like super gentle and like slow.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's really fun. Huh. Okay. So IT closet, all of like how many computers did you install? Um,
Okay. So I have two workstations at one at my front desk and one in my front office that I'm sitting at right now. And then I have one computer in each of my three operatories that have dental chairs. And each computer has two monitors, which I'm excited about.
so at the 12 o'clock.
Correct. Yes.
And then do you have a TV on the ceiling or at the 12
I
o'clock?
do. Yeah, we have a TV at the 6 o'clock and a TV up on the ceiling.
Okay, so one TV on the ceiling. So very Scott Luna.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
TV on the ceiling, TV at the foot of the patient, and then two monitors at the 12 o'clock.
Yes.
And they're all regular PCs because it's open dental.
Correct.
What else? What imaging did you opt for?
So I have a Ray scan CBCT. And I believe I said Dexis last time. My wall mounted x-ray unit is Belmont. And I'm
Oh, you're
using,
not doing a handheld?
I do have a handheld. I looked it up for you. It's X4.
X4.
That's the one I have. But I haven't even played with it yet. It's just sitting in the back
Gotcha.
on the charger. Um, yeah.
Do you have a separate consultation room?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what is your, I know that you like bread and butter dentistry, correct? Do you plan on doing like full mouth reconstructions, cosmetic, any of that?
Yeah, I do. I do like cosmetic dentistry. I've done a couple of full mouth rehab cases I have a good lab here in Vegas. I will be offering clear aligners. I'm
Okay.
gonna try Candid. For the past,
Candid.
yeah, for the past 3 years, my office has been using Sure Smile. I was trained on Invisalign. And then my current associateship, they didn't use Invisalign, so I've been doing Sure Smile,
Okay.
and um, we just switched to Candid, and it's one that has like the mouthpiece, for patients to do at home. And so I just delivered my first case for a college student, and because she goes to school up in Reno, and it was super cool to just be like, here's your 16 trays. I'll track everything every week when you send a picture or you upload your pictures. So that's what I'll be starting out with and trying. I do Botox, so I'll be offering Botox cosmetic services and TMJ services. And I told you I just learned with my CBCT machine how to look at the airway. So I want
Mhm.
to start taking some of my first sleep courses. But yeah, we are way off the topic of construction. I didn't even talk about.
Oh, yes, yes. Sorry. See, there's so much. But before you go back, before you go back to construction, where did you do your Botox training?
The AAFE, American Academy of Facial Aesthetics. And it was
Okay.
great.
And it's just like a weekend course?
So you get a series, I don't know how many hours, you get a ton of videos of pre-work you have to watch, and then it's a
Okay.
weekend live patient course.
Okay.
And they're all over the nation. So I had a course here in Vegas. They're all over. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, now let's go back to construction.
So I talked about soundproofing the wall. That was my first change order. And then my second change order was me adding on the cabinets. So adding on the cabinetry, I told you I didn't know if I was going to go with a national company versus a subcontractor under my contractor. And I love the outcome. My cabinets are gorgeous, but they've been the biggest headache as far as construction delays.
Mm,
And my general contractor, he's been just as frustrated as I have been, but it's just because it's a little, you know, counter company that installs all of these countertops and everything. And so I don't think they have a very large team, and they were just really, really behind on their scheduled construction projects. And so that's really where a lot of our delays have come from, is just getting the cabinets cut out and delivered. So that was hard about custom cabinets. Whereas if I would have went with a national company,
mhm.
you can get those pre-made ones that are shipped out. You
Right.
would have paid more, but it would have all been installed. So looking at it, like I've paid, over 24 grand in rent. Would that have been the same cost?
Mm,
And I would have been open on time. It's hard to know when you look back which way would have, saved you money. But that was our biggest delay. And so that was our second change order, was me deciding, okay, I'm going to go with custom cabinets. Let's add that to the bid. And then my third change order is just little. I had to pay an additional $900 when I bought my CEREC machine. My CEREC guy came in and said, you're going to need an outlet here, here, and a data port here. And so I had to pay that for a change order. And that's all. I only had those three change orders.
that's
All
incredible.
Yeah, the owner of my contractor, he's super fair. He's a super good guy, pays such good attention to detail. Um, I would recommend him for anyone in my area who's looking for construction team.
Amazing. I'm so glad you had a good contractor. That will definitely make or break your experience building a startup for sure. I
Definitely.
loved my contractors so much that I didn't even, this may have been silly, but I didn't even get bids for my second location because I knew that I just wanted to work with him
That's
because he
great.
was he was such a professional and just yeah, high integrity. I so your remind me again, Tony, how much did you end up paying for the custom millwork?
32,000.
And that is throughout your entire office.
Correct.
And that includes the rooms that are still not built out.
Yes.
Okay,
All six of
that's
my offices
amazing.
at least are done. I don't have to have someone come in and do construction work, while I'm open. So that's why I was super excited to go with it, because it was a lot more affordable this way.
I wanna know how you set up the cabinetry at
Mhm.
the head of the patient. Are
Okay.
they are they drawers that come out from the side?
No, there's no side access. Everything's from the front. So the lower unit has a central trash drawer.
Okay,
So there's like a center cabinet with a hole in the door to throw trash in. To the left of that one is another cabinet pull drawer with some shelving in it. And then
okay.
the right-hand side is like a top pull drawer and then a cabinet. And then my computer and everything goes in the upper unit. And I have three pull cabinet doors there.
Oh, three pull cabinet doors. Okay. And do you have in your operatories, do you have dual entry?
Yes.
And what are the dimensions of each room?
Ooh, the assistant side is pretty small.
Small.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know how broad my shoulders, but maybe like a 3 foot entrance.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not good with spatial stuff, but, and then the right side, doctor entry point where, I'm walking in, the patient's walking in is a little bit wider.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe
Awesome.
the size of a normal door frame.
And you have tip out bins.
Yes. They just got installed last week. They're so pretty. I'm so
Aren't
excited
they so pretty?
about them. Yes.
They're so fun. It's so fun to just see all the different things
That's
that we
something
need.
Joseph was like jaw dropped over. He's like, "What? We have these?" He was so excited to organize it all.
That's awesome. And so anything else from the construction perspective that you want to relive or give any advice about?
I mean, really, it's all just so anxiety inducing. You know, it's
Yeah.
like I tell people it's like my third kid over here. Every day you show up and there's like a new shelf that was put up or the floors were in finally. Oh yeah, floors took forever
Oh,
too.
yeah. Can we just talk about the floors? Because I love the floors that you chose. What
I've
is
been getting
that
so many
pattern and what
DMs
is
about it.
you
Let me see. I took a picture of them. Let me see if I can find it. So you're talking about the terrazzo floors, like in my
I l-
operatory?
well, I love all your design choices. Can you tell us what you put in the hallway as well as the operatories?
Yeah, so both are vinyl. So
Fine.
the like blonde wood vinyl flooring is they're both from a company called Mannington. And the color of my floors throughout my office, that light wood color is called Spring House Teak.
Spring House Chic. Oh, I love the name of it.
The- yeah, the like terrazzo floors. So the reason I just like that aesthetic, it's cute, but it's probably even more silly. The reason why I really wanted a flooring like that in the operatory is because every dentist knows when like wax or whatever that stuff is that we use that gets on the floor that turns black or
Oh,
gray and you can't get it off.
the
What is
bane of
that?
our
What
existence.
is it?
It's
You're
like oil residue.
Yeah.
It's
So
awful.
my idea, I'll let you know in a couple months if it works. My idea is that the terrazzo floor is going to
Hide
mask
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my idea. But I think they look gorgeous. I love them. But those are also Mannington. And you'll love the name of this one. The color is Amalfi.
Ah,
Yeah.
Amalfi. I love that. And it is smooth texture. No ridges.
Smooth texture. They're square vinyl tiles, big square vinyl tiles in there. I know because it looks like cement or something. Doesn't it look
I
cool?
love it.
Yeah.
If
So sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, so I think we told you that like our bane of existence is the floors in the operatories because of that stupid black stuff that gets everywhere. And the LVP that we had installed is freaking textured to
Mhm.
look like wood, which is great because it looks super real.
Hard to clean.
It's like they literally have gotten on their hands and knees with a toothbrush to try
Mm.
to remove that in the grain. And that was like a big deal when I designed the second location. I was feeling all of the LVP. I'm like,
Yeah.
nope, ridges, ridges, no ridges. It's gotta be smooth. Like, oh, so
They're like,
kudos
what's with
to
this
you.
lady? Why is she touching
Oh
everything?
yeah. Oh
Um,
man. Yeah, no. All the
um,
things that you learn about.
yeah,
No.
and you only learn when it's a problem.
Right?
Yeah.
All the
So that's
learning
why people need to
experiences.
listen to this. Learn from our mistakes.
Yes. Learn from our mistakes. I just love the name Springhouse Teak, and I think it is so appropriate because flowers bloom in spring. I'm like, how
Yeah.
perfect is that?
And listen, this is crazy too. My cabinets right here, the laminate on my cabinetry is called Blossom.
You're kidding. You chose all of this on purpose.
Oh. Okay, so flooring, that held up a lot of stuff, them not putting my flooring in. Um, I don't really know the order of how things are supposed to happen, but definitely needed to have floors installed before my equipment and my IT would come out.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
And I don't know what the holdup was, but my flooring guys took forever to come out. And then once they did, they freaking worked like 2 12-hour shifts on Saturday and Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Wow.
then I came in Monday morning and they had installed the wrong rubber floorboards. I think I told
Oh,
you. And so I felt so bad telling these guys that worked all weekend, like, no, this is wrong. They were gray. I have no gray in my office at all. I was like, no,
no.
they're supposed to be black. And we got it all fixed. I kind of had to argue with my contractor a little bit because that was something I changed a couple months prior with my GC. I told him, oh, I got a new rendering of my office. I want black floorboards instead of gray. And I didn't understand that the gray ones were like a custom order that they ordered way back when my project started. No one told me that. He just told me, like, thumbs up, okay, that's fine. We'll change it to black. And then I came in that day and all the gray was installed. And so they wanted to charge me. The owner of my construction team, he came in, he was like, well, it was only a couple weeks ago. You told us you wanted that change. We ordered these so long. I'm like, no, my
Mm,
GC, I have a text, I have an email. I told him 2 months ago in July on this date that it was changed to black. I shouldn't have to pay for this because they wanted to charge me 1,200 bucks. So little things like that, and it might seem petty, but those things add up really fast.
really
And so
fast.
he ended up saying, that's on us. Well, there was like a miscommunication with the flooring company, and they just ate that cost for me.
So did they have to rip up part of the outer border so that they could
No.
install the, okay,
Yeah, they did it in a day. So I think
okay.
it's just like glued on with
Oh,
something.
good.
So they just ripped off all the floorboards and then put the new ones on. And then my paint guys had to come in and fix the paint a little bit on the walls.
What color did you end up painting your interior?
So that was also dramatic because I picked all my paint colors with my interior designer way back
Hmm.
when we were doing plans. And I picked this, she sent me, because they're not based here, she sent me swatches. And I
Hmm.
picked this like really pretty creamy white. I think it was called like Ice Cube or something from Sherman-Williams. And the day that my construction team started painting, they told me, at like 5 a.m., oh, we're starting to paint. And I was like, okay, wait a little bit. I want to see it like tested on a wall. And they sent me a picture and I'm like, oh, it looks okay. Because I had meetings all morning. So I didn't make it down until like 10. And my painter, Jorge, had painted like half the office already from 5 to
Oh
10.
no.
So he was almost done. And I was like, I hate it. The color, like, it was almost like a lavender gray. You know
Oh,
how it looks different when you see it
yeah.
like in your space, in your light. Um, so yeah, I was like, this won't work. And luckily, I'm next door. I'm connected to Sherman-Williams. So I ran
Wait,
next door.
like next door? Next door,
They share
next door?
my other wall. Yeah, I'm sandwiched between Sherman-Williams and the pediatrician. So I ran in and I was like, Julia, what do I do? And she just came in. She was like, I get your vibe. I'm going to bring you 3 paints. We painted them on the wall. I have a cute little video of me painting those colors on the wall. And then Jorge fixed it all.
Oh
And they didn't
man,
charge me. They didn't charge me for that paint either. They just
I
fixed it all
love
for
it.
me.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's really awesome. Oh, wait, I want to ask you because a lot of people don't think about how expensive this is, but let's talk about your signage.
Oh, yes. So I I got a recommendation from the pediatrician because I loved their external sign, and they used a sign company that's directly across the street from us. Like I
Oh,
can run
nice.
right now. And it's a First Impression. Their local sign company here. They were phenomenal. So we had a really hard time. So I designed my logo, right, with Studio 88. And I told them, I said, I want it to be the daintiest, prettiest, tiniest little detailed flower. So I have this like wispy logo of this flower. And I've quickly learned that it's a nightmare to make that into t-shirts or embroidery or
Oh,
my
no.
sign. It's too thin, right? And
Yeah.
so something that I wish I would have looked into further and sooner is the requirements for your city. Before you actually go and make your logo, look at the requirements for your city for your channel lettering or halo lettering, what you're allowed to do. Because in my mind, when I was creating my logo with Studio 88, I had this vision for having like a halo backlit, like
Hmm.
iron sign with my delicate flower, and that's not allowed in my city. It has to be
Oh,
channel vinyl lettering. And I don't know why, but that's my recommendation. Look into your city requirements and your lease. When you sign a lease, your property manager is going to have qualifications and like size and everything for your external sign. So that was a little bit more difficult, but my sign company worked with me. I reached out to Studio 88 to let them know, like, I need a different iteration because this does not work with lighting. And Studio 88 was kind enough to make a V2, like a second version of my logo that is more zoomed in to just the top of my flower with thicker outlines. And so now I kind of have, it's kind of cool because I just made hats and I used that thicker version of my logo for the embroidery on my hats because my merch company was like, we can't do this little delicate flower. So something to think about if you want a really delicate logo, make like a second fatter version of it, I guess. But all in all, my sign company, once we figured that out, and they showed me a bunch of digital renderings and we got it like all played out how we want it. That only came out to like $5,200. They were really, really well priced. And I am going to call them back to do some signage inside my office.
that was going to be my next question. Are you having a selfie wall or is it just going to be right when you enter, like in your lounge area?
Yeah, so I want to put my logo in my reception area, just kind of above like the waiting chairs on, I told you I have really tall ceilings, so it looks too empty. I want to do like a big logo there. And then I want to do something on my hallway, like the end of my hallway. It's just a really large wall. So I have a saying, something I want to put up there with like iron letters with my sign company.
Nice. I, so in our building, in our Roseville location, I never even thought about signage, which is kind of crazy. So when I went through the LOI and even the contract, like because I own the building where we put the practice in, I didn't have my attorney like comb through that part about monument signage, which is different than exterior signage. So if you're in a retail park or any kind of medical facility, having monument signage where people are driving by and quickly can see your logo is huge. And
Mhm.
I didn't think about that. So it wasn't included in my package when I purchased the unit. And then to retroactively add Smile and Co to even a little part of the signage, the monument signage, they were asking almost $10,000.
Wow.
I'm like, this isn't even the signage on my actual office. This is just that itty bitty space, that little piece of real estate. But apparently it was, it's a lot. Like, wow,
Yeah.
all the things you don't think about.
Yeah. I know. I'm curious because they're going to add a monument sign on the side of our building. That's something that
Okay.
my neighboring tenants have been fighting for. And there is some verbiage in my lease, but I was asking my neighbor, oh, is there going to be an additional charge? And she doesn't think there is, but I think there will be because I think it's in our lease. You
Mm,
know, if you have additional signage, it's an additional monthly cost or something tied in.
gotcha.
It
Yeah.
can't.
Do you, something else that I don't think, I know that you worked with Carr for lease negotiations. They also go through your contract, or did you have to hire another attorney to look at all the fine print?
What did I do? I did hire an attorney. I did. Yes.
Okay,
So yeah, your realtor, he helped me do all the negotiating as far as lease price, TI allowance, how many months free rent. And then he gave me a breakdown of, using him, this is how much money he saved me in my entirety of my lease. But legally, they can't give you any feedback on the actual
gotcha.
contract.
Okay. And is there anything else in terms of construction that we did not cover?
No, it's like I wish I had more problems so I could help people know how to navigate them. But
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't
all in
want.
all, just be on site, watch your project.
Yeah,
That's my biggest recommendation.
yeah.
I'm so grateful that I'm 2 miles down the road.
I mean, and just it's exciting. I loved visiting the office.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was driving 30 minutes each way when Roosevelt was opening or was getting built. I was like, no, this is fun. Like, I would like freak out when they put the flooring or
Mhm.
like installed the cabinetry. It's
It
really
is so
cool.
exciting. And you know what I'm excited for is like, I'm so grateful I started all this Instagram stuff before because I have videos of every
Yeah.
stage. And I'm so excited to make like the cute little before and after videos. Um, yeah, I filmed a
Yeah.
lot of content in here.
You need to make sure that we are collaborating. So add us as a collaborator so we can repost
Absolutely.
everything that you're doing. And then if you feel so inclined, you could always do a Facebook Live, Toni, to the group
Oh
and
my,
do a walkthrough.
I'm not a Facebook girl. I don't know how to use Facebook. I don't. I think I made one for the office, but I don't even know how to use it.
Oh, okay.
No, I
Well,
know.
maybe the next time I see you, we can like chat in person and I'll make you go live.
Sounds good.
Okay, so just to close the loop, last week you were asking about OSHA. Did
Mhm.
anybody reach? Oh, wait, no, this last week's episode hasn't aired yet. So
That's
we
true. That's true. Uh,
never mind. Never mind. What are you loving this week, Toni?
I didn't prepare. I should know this is coming, and I didn't prepare. I'm loving the city of Henderson. I'll just
Um,
say,
how
uh,
about you're loving your family portraits that you just took?
oh yes, you saw that little sneak peek.
Yes.
My
Amazing,
photographer is the
beautiful.
best. She's the best. She has her own podcast, actually.
Does she
She,
really?
she's killing it. Yeah. Yeah, that was so much fun. It was like an hour drive to get out to where we were going for the photo shoot. But it was so pretty. I had to just trust my photographer because she was like, yeah, go out past Mount Charleston and then turn on this road. And we're like driving by a correction facility, like a prison. I'm like, where are we going? And then it just ended around this little mountain village and like a little creek that runs through the village. Because we're a desert out here, but there were all these big trees. It was really pretty. I have never been out
Um,
there, but
I can't wait to see the finished product. It's going to be gorgeous because your family is stunning.
Mhm.
And do you have any questions for the audience to help you out with this week?
So last week we asked about OSHA. How about, hold on, I need a second to think about that. I need to be better prepared next time.
You remind me, so when Michael was interviewing me for the Making of Smiling Co.,
Mhm.
every week he asked the same questions. I was like, oh my gosh, I know I wrote this down somewhere. He's like, Ashley, every week I go through the same questions and every week you're not prepared. I'm like, yeah.
I'm doing 2 million things. It's hard.
Yeah, it
Uh,
is. I don't want to put you on the spot. So just if you
no,
think of anything,
I'll ask because I posted it in the group chat this morning.
okay.
For those offices doing the cute little TV screen, like you have a screensaver that says, "Hey Tiffany, welcome to your suite." How are people doing that? Is it just like something you make on Canva and you drag it onto the screen, or is there a program that does it automatically? Like, are your assistants going in there and typing in
And like
everyone's
changing.
name in between?
I think the our office also uses Canva for that. And
Okay.
I think they're actually going in and changing each patient's name right before
Well,
they get there.
maybe someone knows about like an automatic way to do it.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm
Yeah.
trying to learn all that stuff, like how to make my comfort menu where patients can select, like, should I just do it on a little laminated piece of paper? Should I put it on my tablet somehow? All of those little, like cool one-off tech things. I don't know how
Oh,
to.
well, speaking of comfort menu, what are you planning on offering?
So we have TV on the ceiling. I'm gonna do eye patches, like under eye patches, neck pillow, noise canceling headphones, chapstick, yeah,
I love
and
it.
blankets.
I one of the other offices that I would follow, they offer popsicles at the end of procedures because when you're
Oh,
numb,
yeah, that's
I'm
super
like
cute.
I'm like that's really cool. I want to do that. We're having a frozen margarita machine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, right. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, Tony. So next week I'm going to talk to you about getting one step closer to seeing patients. So we're probably going to be talking about all the ducks in a row, getting your team on board, your systems, as well as marketing.
Okay.
So I think just the 1 week prior to opening your doors, there's already a lot to cover. So that is what I would like for you to take notes on. And without further ado, thank you guys for listening to episode 4 of the Making of Bloom Dental Co. with Dr. Toni Torres. You guys are, we're doing this in real time. So if you have any questions, advice, answers to how you're preparing the personalized welcome for the patients, please reach out to Toni and give her what you recommend. And stay tuned as we dive deep into opening her doors. Bloom Dental Co. is literally on the verge of opening next week. Maybe week and a half.
Next week.
It's go time, Toni. It's gonna be amazing.
Mm.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, Toni. I will catch you next week. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. All right, Colin and Brian, this is the intro that I forgot to record before I jumped on with Toni. So here's the intro. Before we get started, I wanted to say thank you to everyone listening to the Making of podcast. You can find us on all the socials. They will be in the show notes. I forgot to introduce who I am. Ha! Okay. Scratch that. This is the real intro. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Making of a Dental Startup. This season, we are highlighting Dr. Toni Torres as she builds the practice of her dreams, Bloom Dental Co. Before we get started, I wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone listening. We couldn't do this without you. Nope, I don't like that either. Sorry. Third time's a charm. Okay, no, really, Colin, this is going to be the intro. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Making of a Dental Startup. As you know, this season we are featuring Dr. Toni Torres while she builds in real time her dream office of Bloom Dental Co. Before we get started, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you for listening and supporting the show. You can find us on all the socials and they will be listed in the show notes. And just a recap of what we talked about last episode, we talked about the progress on passing a fire inspection, the importance of tenant improvement allowances, the complexities of contractor communications, and the need for early starts on insurance negotiations. We also discussed team dynamics, training, and the value of consulting professionals. And we still need advice from you guys on OSHA compliance. So without further ado, please welcome Dr. Toni Torres. All right, that is the intro. Here is the outro. All right, guys, that was a fun-filled, action-packed hour of power with Dr. Toni Torres. I had some key takeaways. I mean, there's a lot of key takeaways I feel whenever I talk to Toni. We talked about like the main things that she had with the construction delays. It is actually really surprising that in total she only had 3 change orders. She talked about her decision to do custom cabinetry, which ultimately was the biggest delay in holding up her practice. And she weighs, the pros and cons of paying the big dental companies who do the prefabricated cabinets and whether or not that would have saved a lot more time opening the doors. But if you guys research how much, let's say, an ADEC custom cabinet unit is, that could already be 10 to 15,000 right there. So what else? She had a very hands-on architect. We talked about like all the little things, like choosing your furniture. She worked with an interior designer. That's the part that I absolutely love. And being like budget friendly. Like you have a big budget for construction and supplies and equipment. And oftentimes, I mean, going to things like Amazon and IKEA and Wayfair, that's going to not be a very big difference in the aesthetics of the practice, but ultimately can help you save money when your budget is already tight to begin with. She already talked about how she exhausted her loan and she was already paying lots of things with her credit card. So now that she officially has her certificate of occupancy, she can submit for that 117,000 from her landlord in tenant improvement. So that is going to be huge for her. One thing that I really loved that she talked about was just how hands-on she was throughout the whole process. She was on site every day, looking at the changes, making sure things were exactly how she envisioned, from the paint color, and then, voicing when it isn't completely right, like going next door and swatching out, and ultimately finding a new paint that she ended up loving. And then also soundproofing that wall. Can you imagine opening your practice and hearing screaming kids all day long? No, thank you. I have that at home when I get home every night with 3 boys. And what else? thinking about your signage. I know it seems maybe not so sexy, but doing your due diligence and going to the city wherever you live and looking at the requirements for that is going to be huge, and how that will impact your branding and logo. All right, those were my key takeaways, and I'm sure there will be plenty more. And yeah, if you guys have any feedback, or if you want to be the next person we highlight on the making of a dental startup, you know where to reach us. And stay tuned next week as we are one step closer to getting her doors open and having Bloom Dental Co. see its first patient. Thank you guys again for listening. Make sure to share this with a friend, anyone who is thinking about starting up, or you know, whether it's your first business or your 10th. We're happy that you're here. We're always learning and growing, and we appreciate all of you. So take care, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.